Hello everyone, my name is Yuko Tomizuka. I'm a global real estate investment advisor with more than 30 years of experience. However, once in a while I spend some time to demonstrate to you the Japanese business philosophy or the success story of Japanese entrepreneur because this will be useful for you to understand the Japanese mindset and then the Japanese society or the investment products, which means company or something, company or people, their management resources as well. So this time, let's start with the business philosophy. How to succeed in your business in the US by JAL Savor, Part 1. This time, several entrepreneurs who studied their business in the US and have been learning at Seiwajuku shared their experience with other members. The majority of them have had difficulties in their business growth and the very harsh competition as well as the profit-driven environment in the US, actually. However, Jury, the owner and the president of a food company, has steadily developed his business and expanded branches in several cities in the US, several states and states in the US. The difference between Jury and other leaders as follows. Number one, be pure. Number two, obedient. Number three, deflection. Number four, follow God's will, not common sense, not foreign common sense. Number five, respect and care spouse. Number one, be pure. Juri used to be a member of biker gangs in Japan. As he got matured, he left the group and started working in a company. But he got hurt when he found his colleague was trying to stay away from him due to his biker gang background. Mr. Inamori talked about Juri. I can imagine how Juri would found business philosophy at first, taking into account his background. He had experience to learn such materials, but after he was encouraged to work hard and he came into contact with Seiwajuku, then he changed. I believe he originally was born with such talents, the sensitivity towards philosophy, which implies something really good. But he had few opportunity to learn those topics. As a chunk of sponge absorbs water, he had actively learned philosophy. Being pure is very important to get success in your business. Number two, obedient. Another person who started a business in the United States, Andy, the sodium, certainly said, in the United States, only contract can be trusted. The Seiwajuku contract is everything, he said. She said. The Seiwajuku is a study session for entrepreneurs, so I expected that I could learn practical techniques such as making uh, marketing method and management practice immediately. I was disappointed that it wouldn't be very useful because I heard many topics that seems to have nothing to do with the business, such as a philosophy and management visions, and furthermore, they suggest repeating six devotions for the business success. I thought, what ridiculous people they are. I had survived many difficulties by believing the rich and the strongest, the rich are the strongest. I thought I can only rely on money. In a harsh competition in American society, I have been struggling alone. For me, philosophy looked fantasy, which we would never ever realize. On the other hand, Jury, after joining Seiwajuku workshop, he said as follows. But when I intentionally opened the brochure of Seiwajuku, I found a sentence. What is the objective of our lives? When I noticed that, I found myself so concentrated on the contents of the philosophy. I really enjoyed reading there and realized myself to be well fulfilled. I also found out that the satisfaction from a variety of luxury and lavish stuffs would never fundamentally fill me in. With such idea overflowing, I found myself feeling a sort of loneliness, emptiness, and solitude. Both managers touched Mr. Inamori's philosophy, but the reactions are different. While Andy captured the contents, distorted or bent under the assumption that this should not be real. Jury just obediently and openly listened to Mr. Inamori. I think that the difference in attitude between two is reflected in subsequent development of their companies, their actual business performance. Point number three, deflection. Jury said, especially what struck me was the words, knowing sufficient is important. That I learned from Seiwajuku workshop. I realized that I had been obsessed with materials, especially for luxury goods. I also found out I had been empty, despite of such luxury goods. I started enjoying the workshops. Before the Seiwajuku, I was the president who was always telling employees, "You are idiot. Remember, I can fire you." This was also a big change, and I started persuading the same staff through different approach. I had been a very selfish guy. I thought it would be difficult to conduct such good philosophies, but I believed that I could conduct philosophy if I overcome my selfish by doing things for someone else, as suggested Mr. Inamori. And then we turned into the altruism. I started looking at what I already had. First of all, devised assets. I divested assets which had no more been in use. I started finding values of goods left to me. Points number 4 and 5 are explained in the next blog. Thank you for your attention.